Hey everyone, it's Salman Qureshi. You're listening to the Expat Brat podcast, and I hope you've been having a great week so far. It's only Tuesday, and you basically have just got back to work yesterday, but maybe it was a great Monday. Maybe you walked in and your boss looked at you and said, "Come into the office," and you quivered a little bit and you followed your boss into the room and they sat down and they looked at you and they said, "You've been working so hard. We're giving you a bump in your pay. And here's some bonus money just for the heck of it. Not for the heck of it, but because you deserve it. You're my number one employee. Without you, this company would have shut down 2 days ago. Just 2 days ago, because that's where we were about to go bankrupt. But that deal you clinched, that Excel sheet you updated, that less bottle of water you used in the pantry, that saved us, man. That saved us in here. I don't know. Maybe if it was like that, that's great, right? And that extra money and that bonus probably makes you then kind of go, all right, I can take all the other crap that comes with this job, like my moronic colleagues and equally idiotic clients. Yeah, and all the brain numbing work I have to do every day because someone wants to see a report at the end of the month. Oh, I don't miss corporate work sometimes. But I genuinely hope that's the kind of week you're having already and that you have something to look forward to at the end of the week or during the week, actually every day of this week. That's how much I'm trying to send blessings to you into your into your week. All right. So you have a great week. I've heard psychologically that if you have something to look forward to, particularly like a holiday or something, then it helps your mood. And so I don't know how that works exactly. Can you fool your brain? Can you just tell yourself next month I'm going to the Bahamas and and that will trigger your brain to be happier and content with life? But then you have to deal with the emotion of disappointment when next month comes around and you're not in the Bahamas and you're sitting behind a desk looking at a screensaver of the Bahamas instead. Maybe that'll trick the brain into thinking you are there. I don't know. How much can you trick your brain before your brain goes, yo, listen up. Uh, I'm in charge here and I know what you're trying to do and it's not going to work anymore. Or at least maybe it will, because that's how we keep fooling ourselves at our jobs, in our bad relationships, and any bad situation we're in. We like to have hope, so maybe this is a good way to deal with life. Just to try for the next 3 months and let me know how it goes. If it works, I'll write a book on it, sell it, and become rich. Okay, that's the plan. So in 3 months, you could be contributing to my success. That's something to look forward to as well, at least for me. So have a go at it. And why not, right? Why shouldn't I cash in? Look, let's be honest. In this day and age, celebrities just need to be good at one thing before you start buying stuff from them in other stuff. For all the love I have for Johnny Depp as an actor, seeing him on stage performing, I'm not sure if he deserves to be up there. I don't know. I haven't really listened to him, so maybe I'm being harsh, but you see it too often now. Like celebs come out with a book, paintings. Paintings is a crazy one. Like they're just selling for millions of dollars. Like Jim Carrey's work. I'm not an art expert or critic, so I don't know if his work is good or not, and I could be wrong. Maybe he's a great painter as well. Maybe with all the money he made with movies, wasn't he earning like $20 million a movie at one point? And he's like bored of that. I want to kill him for being bored of doing something you do so well and get paid so insanely for it. Anyway, uh, this so he's doing paintings, and they sell for, I think the tickets just to get into one of his exhibitions for a couple sold for like $10,000 at one point. So he's would we really want to buy his stuff if it wasn't him doing it? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's I am not sure about how much, but it's a great thing, a great power to have, which is, and I think it's always been there. It's always been, back in the day. It's only very recent that merit became a thing, isn't it? Otherwise, back in the day, amateur gentlemen were kind of, people with rich and had time for a hobby. They're the ones that discovered stuff. They're the ones that played sports. They're the ones that were like kind of, because of their social circle and availability of time. If you weren't rich and affluent, then you'd be busy washing your boxers all the time, right? Because you come back from working in this factory where you're covered in soot and probably battling cancer on the inside, and just covered in dirt and whatnot, and then having to spend the whole night just washing it off, knowing tomorrow you have to go through this again. Maybe some of these people just gave up and showed up, and that's how blackface started. Who knows? I don't know. Is that controversial to joke about? I don't know. But you didn't have time to play with your own kids. Forget like researching something or having a hobby. No one was paid in sports back then enough. And then something happened, and people started like, hiring people who were actually good, or just more democratization. Did I say that right? I don't know. And so people were able to get into more different things, right? And I think generally it's been better. But when you look at the celebrity stuff and the influencer stuff, Instagram stuff and whatnot, you kind of go, yeah, I know Kim Kardashian knows how to pose and act. Why is she selling 10 other things that she hasn't done anything with? I don't know. Some of it is, so it'll always be there. I think it's just making a very strong comeback of sorts in a way, because I think the painting thing, again, because my wife's an artist, maybe I'm more, maybe I'm just upset for her. But if these guys get to perform or exhibit at these places where a normal artist would die and consider a privilege to be able to use that platform, and instead it's given to these guys. And I get it. There's a commercial reason, because all of us are just going to buy a known quantity over someone we don't know, even if the work's great. So what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter if your work's great. It sucks. All of that. It doesn't matter. What matters is, do people know you enough to want to hire you? And I'm talking at the top level. If you are happy with doing the corporate job 8 to 5, then who cares? Maybe you'll get promotions and bonuses enough times to make it worth it for you. And maybe it gives you a nice life. Who cares, right? But if you want to really, really land at the top, then I think that's the way to go. You've got to create a name for yourself. And I know people go on about branding and personal branding and blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying go all the way. Like, go crazy. Go crazy on online and just be all about marketing. Because honestly, sometimes I think there are times in life when you're good at something, you'll pull through, and you're so good that people around you just gather, and they make it happen for you, right? The universe makes it happen for you because you're so talented. Like, I saw Tiger Woods documentary, and the guy was shooting golf, swinging the golf club really well at the age of 3. All right, I know it sounds great, but think about it. Like, at the age of 3, if you've had kids, you'll know some of them are still wearing diapers. You're still trying to get them to go to nursery without crying, and all sorts of stuff. And this kid is just swinging golf clubs like a pro. All right. So when that happens, but unfortunately, when that happens, then people gather around you, like I said, and things just flow for you. All right. And it's up to you to like make it go bust, like he did with his multiple incidents. Well, just one. He got caught cheating. We all. And then he wrecked his car and stuff. Like it was spectacular. It was spectacular. Let's just say. But that was Tiger Woods, man, and he was talented. And let's be honest, I know people around you might have told you you were very talented at making flip flops, and that's the kind of business you should get into. But just take a moment. All right, take a moment, and just ask yourself, am I really that? Maybe you are, and that's great. All right, I'm not trying to discourage you, but even if you are, well, what's my point? My point was actually, let me backtrack. My point was, if you are, um, even if you're really talented, the problem is, if I don't know you, I'll just be like, I don't know if this is good or not, because most people are actually dumb. Who studied art? We're collecting art. Everyone was buying NFTs because someone told them it's going to be worth something in a while, right? So that's what you got to project. You got to project celebrityness so that people think, hey, his or her stuff is going to increase in value over time. So I better pick up some of this crap right now. Even if I find that painting with that baboon with psychedelic tie-dye colors around it extremely disturbing, I, I will pay some good money for it, because at some point some other idiot will come around thinking it's double the value, or maybe the artist will die. I went to a Metallica concert. I won tickets, and they gave me a signed. It came with a signed. What do you call that? Not a T-shirt. It was, what was it signed on? Those drum kits, the ding, the bell, like the chime type looking thing. God, I'm so ignorant. So that chime like thing, it would look like a Chinese hat. If anyway, so that was it. No, 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 no. I remember. It was the drum skin. Like I'm sure there's another word for it, but the drum, like the clot where you hit the stick on, and this is yeah. So that bit, they all signed it, and I had it for a while, and I gave it to my brother. I don't know if he still has it. I should ask him if he lost it, because he was a bigger fan of Metallica. Anyway, I just thought at some point that Metallica thing might become really valuable if one of them died, and then I was just sitting around going, at least for the next 6 months, I was like, hey, it might be great if one of these guys died right now. Like that's the that's the kind of hope. No more a fan. No more. I hope they release another album. I hope I get to see them live again. It was die, guys, so that the thing I have of yours becomes much more valuable, and I can get rich off this. All right, so. And that's the mentality we have, I think, when we get most of this stuff. Also, we think by using something a celebrity has endorsed is definitely better and will make our lives happier, right? That's also part of the deal. So that painting hanging on the wall with the baboon and the tie-dye psychedelic colors background is making our life better in some way. We don't know how yet, right? But somewhere on the inside, we feel more confident because we know a famous artist who's actually known for movies or crushing peanuts for all we care has painted this and stamped their name on it. So it's legit, and I am cool because I have one. Right. So now that I've given you the key to success, right? It's not hard work. It's not talent. It's not actually what you can do. It's who people think you are and can do. Uh, it's still, in fairness, it still requires a lot of hard work because it's not easy getting famous. I know in the internet time, we often see people get famous for their first 5 minutes or whatever. Like Andy Warhol said, we'd all have our 5 minutes of fame. Was that the line? Something like that. And And so we can get that, but to sustain it and to become to a point where people are stupid enough to buy your awful paintings, then I think, that does require a bit of hard work and intelligence of some sort to keep going. And I'm just bitter because I haven't, I've had some really great stuff happen in my career and worked with some really big brands, with big celebs. Like, I really look back and go, I've had a great ride. And, I thankfully, people do recognize you when you go out and stuff a lot of time. But, not that kind, not that, I want to hit that level where people would be like, you know what, Salman used this tissue to sneeze into, and we're just going to pay a lot of money, and he's put it into a frame, and now it's an art exhibition, and it just means a lot. That sneeze came at a point where he was on the sets for his great movie, and it was just before this pivotal scene. He wanted to sneeze. He wanted to sneeze so that his lungs would be clear, and he'd deliver this line in the Oscar-winning moment that he did have. It's all because of the sneeze, and now we have it, and the exhibition is called Sal Sneezes. And someone just, they have an auction war, and I claim it's going to go for charity, but secretly I keep some of the money. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why the universe and the God is not rewarding me for this stuff. And then it goes for like a few $1,000,000, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's insane!" But he totally deserves it. That tissue, that exhibition was amazing. It changed my life. I don't know if any rich people actually talk like that. That's the opposite of rich people talk. I think unless you're in Silicon Valley, maybe, huh? I don't know. And so, yeah, so it just sells, and I secretly keep most of the money, and I send some of it to some orphanage, and everyone's happier. Everyone's happy. The person who bought the thing will feel they own something important, and they'll assume some of that money has also helped the needy. And hey, if anything, a lot of people say I'm very needy. So so there you go, right? It's not a lie, and obviously I'll be happier because I've got more money in my account and I am celebrated. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, some orphanage, some kid will be able to afford new shoes because I will send at least that much. Who knows? Maybe 5 of them might be able to afford new shoes because the dollar's quite strong right now in versus developing countries. And obviously, I sent it to a developing country orphanage, unless I was really mean and I sent it to an orphanage in a rich country, because then that would get me some political clout with the locals of that area, and that might help me even more. Oh, I'm just talking through this stuff, and I'm like, wow, there's so much potential. There's so much potential for me to gain so much if we can make this happen. All right, so guys, we got to make this happen. All right, if you are not following me yet on my social media platforms, what are you doing listening to my podcast? Go do it, man. Look, you think my idea is crazy? It's not. Look, if you've got money and fame, you can do anything. Like Saudi just announced this wall, just this city that is like the modern China wall, but straight and made of glass, and we'll have a city living inside it. Who knows? Maybe the ancient wall of China was supposed to be the same. Have we looked inside it? I know David Copperfield went through it. That's such an old reference that I don't think 90% of my listeners would get that. It's so sad. But maybe Google it. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool trick where the greatest magician that ever lived, at least in the TV era, David Copperfield, so spectacular, so funny, much better than these street guys that I really hate watching. I won't even name them because I hate that so much. And one of his illusions was to walk through the wall of China. And I don't know, you should ask him, was there a city inside? Were there a bunch of dead bodies just sitting around going, we didn't think about the oxygen? Well, they're dead, so they wouldn't say, but maybe they had it on sign, and it's David Copperfield, so he probably could read Mandarin as well. It's him. It's everything's possible. So hey, if you don't believe me, that guy made Statue of Liberty disappear as well. Okay, all right. You don't believe me? Google that stuff. Okay, we don't doubt David Copperfield on this podcast, and so. So yeah, so the Saudi guys, they want to build this wall city that's like, I don't know, a gazillion, just a straight line, like a straight tower, and they're calling it a skyscraper, and I'm like, what? Yeah, it's just crazy, and no one will say it to their face that this is a crazy idea because they know people will probably buy it. People will probably be like, I'll invest, and it'll work. Uh, and all of us who are going, but this sounds really stupid and not needed, right? It's totally not needed, and but it'll happen in front of us, and we'll be like, what? That's the way it works. Like, so there's so many times I'm like, that's a crazy idea. Government shouldn't be doing that. Rich people shouldn't be doing that, but it happens. It doesn't matter that I think, and then it works. That's the worst bit, right? Shit works, and you sit there and you go, oh man, maybe I should just do some more crazy ideas or something. Well, that's what I've been doing this whole podcast, to formulate that crazy idea. And sometimes things happen. Like, I'm sure a lot of people for the longest of time said women's sports, screw it. But it's so funny to me that it's the English women's team. Big up to them for winning the trophy against a very good German team as well. But it's nice because, the whole time everyone's cheering on the guys, investing millions in them, talking about it for, since 1966. They're bringing it home, and the women just went, listen, we got this, all right? They stepped out and stepped up and did it. And to a record crowd, right? It was almost like 90,000 people in the stadium. That's amazing. It's great for women's sports. It just goes to show, of course, like I said, crazy thoughts, crazy ideas can happen. So there's a little bit of motivation for you in this podcast, okay? Yeah, there you go. Like, I hope this has been inspiring for you as much as it has been inspiring for me, because I'm definitely going to go out, do much more crazier ideas and believe in them and try them out. And if one of them succeeds, all great for us, right? Unless it's like a crazy bad idea, like I'll go slaughter, have genocide, try to take over the world kind of idea. Don't do that. That's not what I'm inspiring you to do. Did Hitler listen to a self-help book and go, I believe in myself now. I believe in myself. I can't do a German accent. I've been made fun of that before. Anyway, that's the point. Don't have bad ideas. Just as long as it's a good idea, I hope you succeed in it. And wish me well as well. Cool. Guys, I've got to get going. It's a busy day. I finally gotta hit the gym again, because I've been avoiding exercise because of my LASIK eye surgery, which is great now. But so I'm gonna go burn off some of this fat I've been accumulating over the last couple of weeks. You guys have a great week ahead. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next episode. Do send your comments and likes and shares and subscriptions and blah, blah, blah. Spread the love. Take care. Bye. Or as a dog would say, woof.